Hey folks, so Sis68 here. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit unique, inspired by what's been going on in on the Ultimate Guitar forums, and I've seen a lot of it lately. Um, this is an old versus new video, whereas I compare the old version, original printing of Rust in Peace, and the remastered versions of Rust in Peace. It's kind of been inspired to do an old versus new before the stuff in the Megadeth thread was going down. I picked this up the other day, local FYE, for about $7 used. Not that bad. And I decided, why not make a video of the ups and downs, pros and cons of the original and remastered versions of this. So a little bit of background on the album. Rust in Peace was released in 1990, and it's considered Megadeth's trademark work. It's one of their biggest selling albums to date, and one of the most successful big four of thrash metal records, or metal albums for that matter, of all time. So I think I should start out in terms of comparing these two with the production of the album in terms of the guitar work or vocals or things like that. So there's a big time sound difference between these two. On one hand, for example, with the original Rust in Peace, it sounds a little bit like this. Whereas the remastered version sounds a lot like this. So yeah, something along those lines. And I would have to say that between the old one and the new one, in terms of the overall sound, I like the sound of the remastered better because it has, from what I just played for you, the remastered version sounds louder. The original had, like, the drums were so quiet, and it just loses its bite when you have the instruments that sound so weak. But then the remastered version, I mean, the drums are just constantly blasting at you. It's great. Now, when Mustaine went back in 2004 to remaster Rust in Peace, some guitar and vocal tracks were missing. He had to redo some of them. For example, on Five Magics, there is a bit of a difference between the vocal tracks on there, because I believe he said that the vocal tracks just disappeared, which I think they were just unable to be used anymore. So, considering that this was before they did the Pro Tool style of production, they did it all on tapes and everything else, and this is before the big digital recording that we see now. One big difference in terms of the remastered version is that you get bonus tracks. Bonus. You get an unreleased track that was supposed to be on Rust in Peace, but it wasn't finished in time, and that's the song My Creation. And it's a bit I mean, I don't really know where they would have been able to fit it on Rust in Peace. It doesn't seem to fit anywhere on the record. Probably because I've listened to it so many times that I just can't see where it fits in. And then you got 3 demos of Rust in Peace Polaris, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, and Take No Prisoners. I can't really think of what all else there is to compare here, but don't get me wrong, they're the same album. It's just that the production of this is better. The remixed, remastered, and I can't see how people would prefer the original over the remastered. I just can't see it. The original, although I think people think the original is better just because that's what they're used to hearing. And when they go to the remastered, they're thinking, this isn't the same. I don't like this because it's not the same. I'm unwilling to change. The remixed and remastered version is better. There's no doubt about it. It's what Mustaine's vision of Rust in Peace would be like. And not to mention, you can't buy a brand new copy of this anymore, the original, because they stopped making them in favor of the remixed, remastered version. So, however, there are albums that have been remastered by Megadeth that are not better. Case in point, So Far So Good So What, or Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. This one, especially, is not better than the original, mainly because they censored a track almost completely on this album. Big Megadeth fans know what I'm talking about. So my verdict between the old versus new is that if you want to listen to the old version, go right ahead. But its production is nowhere near the awesomeness of the remixed and remastered version. So, this is Subsist68 here, awaiting the flame war that will now commence in the comment section below, because I'm picking a remastered album better than the original. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion, and it's open for critical thought. I don't mind criticism at all, as long as it's constructive. So leave a comment, subscribe. Constructive criticism is always welcome. And I now await the war in the comments below my video. This is Subsist68 here on Metal Couch, signing off.